Forged from Irons, proud to support Irons Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons. Oh, hang on. He's not pressed that button. How many times have I told you about that?
Well, I've just had an absolute mare myself.
What's happened to your green screen?
There it is.
It's fine. We can edit it out, Duke. They will never know.
I know. It's all
they
good. No
will
one
never know. It's all good. By the time I get this through the editing process, we'll be through it. Don't you worry about that. And
that's it. Look, it's all is good in the hood.
It's good. Right, guys, as it says there, please don't forget to like, comment on, and share this stream to your social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the bell icon for alerts on new content. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support. Duke, it was fairly routine yesterday in the end. We obviously went to Pride Park against a Derby County team that were in the midst of a 19-game sequence of matches in all competitions without defeat in 90 minutes. And you said it in our match preview, you know, it's a team like that, you know, it's the reason why it was on the telly. Let's be completely honest. I think that all the broadcasters thought that this was a shock in the making. It was nowhere near, was it?
Listen, as I said, it had all of it. It had the entire setup of what could have been a cup upset. Let's not mess around. We've been supporting this club long enough to know just exactly how this could have gone. Now,
absolutely.
Listen, thankfully it didn't, and as you say, it turned out to be pretty routine. It turned out to be quite straightforward in the end. I mean, I'm not trying to put a downer on Derby or anything else. I actually thought Derby played quite well at points last night. It's not bad, is it? I made it myself.
Did you get that B&Q?
Yeah. I've got to say, all in all though, Rob, as much as it's job done, as much as it's we won, as much as, you know, people saying back-to-back games and it's, you know, I get it. But at best, it was a lower league lower level championship team.
Yeah, but you can only beat who's put in front of you, dude.
You're right, and I'm not making any kind of, I'm not taking away from Derby there. I mean, I spoke to my old man this morning, and we had a little discussion on the game last night, and he watched it, and he said there were points where both teams kind of Duke, Thanks. I like it. I kind of look at. He said that kind of both teams at points reverted back to a bit of long ball football last night, and I have to say he's not wrong. There was some elements of our game that were just hoop, and get it forward. And again, I get that. I get that we needed to. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Rob. I'm looking at the time. It's 8:30. We've done nothing apart from some young lad from Ireland, Cliftonville Rovers, again, which we're really good at. But we've done nothing to try and bolster our squad. Now, we've lost players. We've lost Dawson. We've lost Randolph. I know we've recalled Anang. And we've signed a Brazilian fella, Luisao.
Luisao, yeah.
Well, who isn't going to do anything. He isn't going to play. He's already
Probably
in a
not.
developmental squad. I'm struggling to understand why we're not doing anything. Yes, yesterday was good, and yes, yesterday was fun. But back to reality today is that we have a very small squad. We have a few injuries. We have we've let players go. So in my mind, I'm like, well, I don't understand why I've sat in front of my TV for the best part of 12 hours straight until I came on here watching transfer deadline day. I should know not to take days off on transfer deadline day. I'll tell you why I do it. Do you want to know why I take days off on transfer deadline day, Rob? Just quickly.
Please do.
I remember being at work with Sports Direct and being on my lunch break at Sports Direct, working in Crayford, this was.
Oh, nice.
And I remember having my phone in my hands, refreshing Sky and all the rest of it. And it came up with this absolutely ridiculous headline. West Ham had signed Tevez and Javier Mascherano. Right?
Oh, I remember that day.
Now,
remember that very well.
Batshit. I went batshit, Rob. The fact that we'd signed these players tonight to go back to work. Right? So I've taken transfer deadline day off as often as I can in the hope that we might get our own Robinho kind of Manchester City sign in. You remember when they got him on transfer deadline day? We'd signed Mascherano and Tevez, and just brilliant. And nothing. For the last 3 fucking transfer windows that we've been doing this Poxy show, nothing. Right? So I should learn. But I mean, you go back to
it's
last
optimism,
night,
though, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Listen, you go back to last night and you put it into context as a single game. You put it back into what it was, what it is, and how it is, and we won. And certain players looked bloody good last night. I have to say, Suchek looked really good last night, Rob. I've got to say, I mean, his link-up play was really good. I think what happened
got the assist for the opener.
Yeah, what happened was you kind of let him do what he did, and he went and did exactly what he did, 18 months ago?
Yeah.
So I don't we know
it is like that, isn't it, Eastside?
I know it was Derby, but again, if you allow Suchek to do what he does what he does. So then here's the key for me. We know what the problem is, and Eastside's literally just written it in the chat. The last comment that he's put in, he's literally said it in the chat. Suchek plays better when Declan Rice doesn't play.
Yes, that fact isn't lost on me either.
Well, there's your conundrum. Do we keep him next year? Because we know Rice ain't going to be about next season. And do we have him and Downs do what they do? Yeah.
I think that may well be something that comes to pass. Look, we all know Declan's gone. I mean, there's all sorts of whispers that he's apparently had some sort of gentleman's agreement with Arsenal. Well, it always makes me giggle when they turn around and say a gentleman's agreement when it comes to Premier League footballers, because let's be completely honest about it. Most of them aren't really gentlemen when it comes to their business life, if you will. They might be gentlemen away from the glare of the cameras and all of the rest of it. They might be very nice people, but let's be completely honest. They're all single-minded individuals, and I've got no problem with that. I'm not saying that as a criticism. It's just an observation. A gentleman's agreement, though, I just sort of look at and go, yeah, right. I mean, that ain't worth the paper it's not printed on.
Well,
but
I think
if he is gone, sorry,
I was just going to say, I think we spoke about it the other day when I turned around and said, if he has had contact with Arsenal or any of Arsenal's representatives or spoken to anyone with regards to I give my word, which is allegedly what he's turned around and said. Well, my issue there is that's tantamount to tapping up.
We know it goes on, though, Duke. I mean, look, we've done it. We've done it.
Well, of course we have. I ain't denying we haven't. But again, my problem is on it is that we really do need to have the conversation with higher sources or whatever about what happened, because that's not on. If this is the case, then that's not on, Rob, and we really do need to get that sorted, because I think if that is the case and they have gone and done so, then there needs to be a conversation to be had outside of the club for a conversation with Arsenal. But again, enough of that. Yesterday, Downs and Souček I thought was superb in the middle of the park. Again, the link-up players I was saying, you mentioned for his first goal. I think it was, I can't remember who played the ball into Antonio, but it was a great flick from Antonio. Souček won the header. And again, great play by Souček and great vision by Souček to see that Bowen was making the run where he was, and great shout out to Bowen for his positioning. He realised that, you know what, based off of what we know from before, i.e. Souček's first season with us, based on what we know before, he's going to win that header and put that ball into where Bowen ended up. So Bowen made that run knowing he was going to win that header. So Bowen made the run, remembering, not necessarily going by what we did recently, but remembering what Souček is capable of. He made that run, and there we go. There's the goal. Oh, it was superb.
That comment there. I mean, that really came over on the TV. I mean, I know you was there, Kent, but I was watching it obviously in my. I wasn't on the south of France because it was on ITV, so I didn't need to disappear to my yacht and just moored off of the Monaco coast or wherever. Yeah. I didn't need to do that, so I was watching it at home. That's fine. Actually, I missed the first. I don't know what 30 seconds of it because I was in a bloody meeting in the Holiday Inn in Bexley, but that's another story. But
mate,
that really did come over
30 seconds because I bloody didn't realise I thought we kicked off at 8 o'clock. So
I
was ambling around upstairs in the flat.
You plum.
And my phone buzzed and I looked at my phone and it said latest score, West Ham 0. Look, I'm like, ah! So I legged it downstairs, got downstairs, and everyone's going to see that. They nearly scored. I was like, what? I was like, no, I didn't see nothing. I've quite clearly missed a lot here. What's happened?
Yeah, but I was very impressed with a number of players, as you say. I mean, Thomas Souček, I think, had his best game in quite some time, and I am mindfully aware of the caliber of the opposition. I know that obviously we're talking about a tier 3 team. I would say that that's probably a false position in my opinion. I think they're a second tier team. They're a third tier team simply because of goings on in the financial realm, which then meant that they copped a punishment, which was perfectly justified. It is what it is. You break the rules, and you do the crime, you do the time. The problem is obviously it then has repercussions to players that had nothing to do with these decisions made at a boardroom level. It has a knock-on effect on the fans who had nothing to do with the decisions made at a boardroom level. They're the ones that suffer. The guys that are in the boardroom, it seems to me, get off relatively unscathed. Hey Kate, hope you're well. Yeah, and I just think it's really shit. You know what I mean? It's not very nice, but
wasn't it the fact
it's
that
always the way.
Did he not? I think what it was he sold Pride Park to himself.
Yes,
is how I believe it went down. I'm sorry, what, Peter? I saw his name mentioned elsewhere in the chat, but Rob, have you seen this?
No.
Seriously?
Oh my God. Oh, that is ridiculous. We should be we should have got him signed, in my opinion, a year's extension before we loaned him out, like we did with Coventry. Chelsea do it routinely with players that they send out on loan. They get them to sign a year's extension before they get farmed out, unless they know that they don't want them back. And I just look at this kid, and he's ripping it up in the champ, absolutely ripping it up. We've got a weakness at left back, for Christ's sakes. And
we've got a weakness at left and right back, and if
I know,
this is going to be the case, then we're gonna back off to.
But 400k is real.
Opinion.
That's ridiculous, mate. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't know what they're doing, and it really annoys me because I'm now sort of like thinking quite negatively on the back of a win. I really shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, no, I know, and this, I get what you mean. I mean, the irritating part is, Rob, it was always going to come down to this. We were always going to discuss, the goings on with regards to obviously the transfer window. We weren't going to be able to sit here and avoid that. To be fair, we weren't going to be able to avoid that. But I think Luke said it in the group chat. I believe it was Luke. He said that he's just watched Ashby be paraded in front of 50,000 Geordies, and it made him feel sick. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, mate. All he had to do was play him, Rob. All he had to do was play him. And
that's a fair point, actually, Eastside. I was half expecting it last night in some respects.
Yeah,
that was why the TV cameras were there. I
completely agree with him. And it was and I'll be honest, it was a very workmanlike, it was a very solid. There were a couple of times they got through, and my arsehole did squeak a little bit. I did have West Ham to win 2-0, so I did win 35 quid off it. I did have my finger on the cash out button as Ben Rama broke through, but was offside. So I cancelled that. But it was workmanlike, it was solid, it was hard working. They all worked hard. Steve, I've just seen what you've said there. I've got it on over here, and we are going to get fucking trounced on Saturday, but we'll talk about that.
You're watching the Newcastle game, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to get ripped apart, mate. There's something else. They are absolutely something else. 2-1 up.
Is it a heavily rotated squad? I've got literally no idea.
Listen, you know that guy that the Geordie fans said was better than Declan Bryce. What was his name?
Sean Longstaff. Yes.
Yeah, he's got 2.
Has he?
Yeah, he scored 2.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, we worked hard yesterday, I felt, and it was very workmanlike. But they're going to need to work 100 times harder on Saturday. I mean, Emerson at left wing back scared the living shit out of me at times. I looking at if I may, how you've got the setup there. I know this is not your setup. This is off of the website.
Yes.
Fornals and Bowen weren't that far in, Rob. At times, they were a lot wider than what that graphic gives us.
They were more like orthodox wingers, you suspect?
Yeah, and the problem was Johnson didn't go as far forward when Bowen was wider. I don't know whether anyone else noticed this. I certainly did. Bowen, when he was wider, Johnson didn't go as far forward. But the problem we had was when Emerson was going forward, he wasn't paying attention to where Fornals was. Right?
I don't
So
believe
the
it, Ed.
problem was basically him and Fornals were occupying the same space. So nothing really happened down our left because they were bogged down. They were bogged down on the left-hand side. Once Benrahma came on for Fornals, Benrahma tended to tuck in a little bit, which then allowed Emerson to come up. But he also, I think, when he came on, he must have said to Emerson, "Look, do me a favour, piss off out of the way, because you're in the way, basically, and you're causing me, you're blocking off where I can be." So I think what he went with it was, get out of the bloody way. I'm here. You stay back unless I come inside. So
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Have you voted on Force from Irons YouTube channel Man of the Match Award?
Yes.
Have you? No. Okay, you're doing it now, aren't you? Because I've just reminded you. Well, if anybody's watching on Twitter or Facebook, pop across to YouTube, get your vote cast. There's 4 choices. You've got Fornals. Now, Fornals was the official man of the match.
He was, and he looked shocked with that.
I think a lot of people were. I was as well. Listen, I'm not saying Fornals had a crap game, but I don't think he was the standout candidate from where I was sitting. What say you? I mean, do you think that?
No, listen. Again, I think he played well.
That's unfair.
I think he played well. I don't think he was outstanding. I don't think he was. Exceptional. There were better players out there, if you want my honest opinion. And the guy I voted for man of the match, I thought was the better player, but it didn't happen.
Thank you, Eastside. Appreciate it.
It went to Fornals. So I don't think it was fair that Fornals got it, but hey ho.
Yeah, well, I did think it was a bit of a strange awarding. I'm not quite sure who awarded it. Was it Ali McCoy that gave that?
I think so.
Well, far be it from me. Yes, mate.
Surely, and guys in the chat, let me know if I'm wrong. And if
you're wrong.
In the chat, he'll tell me I'm wrong. So it looks like Chelsea have signed Enzo Fernandez.
Oh, has that gone through?
£115 million. Takes their spending to £600 million since Todd Bowley took over.
Yeah.
Where's financial fair play come into a conversation that you know what I mean?
Really?
Because we were talking about this, about the whole thing of sacking Moyes and bringing in a new manager was going to cost 50 million quid. This was a few months back, and if we were to do that, that takes our spend over, nearly 230 mil, 40 mil, and we would have been eyed up by the powers that be because of that, because of our incomings. Well, can we have
exactly
that
what Trod says there, mate?
Yeah, there's the answer. I tell you what, Eastside says it.
What, Ziyech?
Right, what is Ziyech? Question is, where do you play Bowen then?
Striker?
I was going to say, do you move Bowen into a striker?
Possibly. Or maybe Ziyech plays there. I don't know. What do you think? Who would you put?
Mate, I would have gone for Pulisic if you really want my opinion. If you really want, if we were going to take anyone out of Chelsea, I would have gone for Pulisic.
Okay.
I
Does
think
his
he's
injury
banging.
record not concern you?
Listen, don't give me injury fucking records when you have a look at what we've got going on right now.
I know. I'm
spent
only
15
asking a
million
question.
on Danny Nones.
I'm only asking a question.
We spent 15 million pound on Danny Nones. We spent bloody 25 million on
Danny
Kurt
Nones.
Zuma, who I am convinced, by the way, You know timeshares, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you and me put in to buy a villa and you use it for 6 months of the year, I use it for 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon that Kurt Zuma and Mikel Antonio are doing a timeshare on legs.
Jesus. Do you know, now I stop
Because
to think
at the
about it.
moment,
Have they ever been
Mikel
on the pitch at the
Antonio's
same
legs
time?
are fine. Antonio's legs are fine, and Zuma's legs are shot to shit. Give it 6 months, and Zuma's legs will be fine, and Antonio's legs will be shot to shit again. I promise you, timeshare.
Have they been on? I'd have to have a look. How many times have they actually been on the pitch at the same time this season? It's probably not been very often, has it?
Can't be many, mate.
So maybe they are borrowing. Maybe they've got the same pair of legs and they're just swapping it each time. I don't know. It's possible.
Don't get it. Can't. No. It winds me up, if I'm honest with you. I don't understand how.
But looking on the bright side, dude, we progressed. We've got a nice, easy tie in the fifth round. We're going to Old Trafford. That should be nice and straightforward. Surely we do so well there usually.
Is that 5 times in 7 seasons that we've been drawn away at Old Trafford in one of the 2 cups?
Yes. We did win there last season, didn't we, in the League Cup?
Can I touch on the draw for a minute?
Please do.
So they put the balls in a clear plastic pot, didn't they?
They do.
And the plastic pot is like a champagne bottle or a brandy bottle. Now, what I mean by that is it has that dome bit in the bottom of it. Yeah? So the balls slide down the side of it. Yeah? Okay. You know what I mean? The balls go down the side of that dome. And then you put your hands in.
This sounds like a really bad porn film.
I don't know what you watch, right? No. They put their hand in, they grab a ball. And then they
still sounds like a really bad porn film.
And they spin the balls, right? But what the balls don't mix, Rob. Have you noticed this? They did it in the World Cup.
They just go round.
They just spin round in a circle. So they put their hand on a ball and go, that one.
Yeah.
Spin it round, spin it round, spin it round, spin it round. Nothing mixes, and then they pick up the first ball that they touched, right?
Yeah.
What if they're magnetic? And
have
the
you
balls
never heard of
together,
the hot balls, cold balls theory?
Eh?
You ever heard of the hot balls, cold balls theory?
Yep, I've heard that. Yep.
That's another one.
We were talking about it last night. If you've got a magnetic ball, pick up a magnetic ball. Yeah. When you put your hands in on the next go round, no magnetic ball. You take it out on that one. I'll tell you now, that's how they kept Manchester United, Manchester City, and Tottenham apart. I'll tell you now, hot balls, cold balls. Promise you. Promise you.
Possibly. But I mean, my missus said it. She turned around and she said, why don't they have like what you have in the National Lottery? You've got this big machine, you've got arms going backwards and forwards. The balls are being jumbled around here, there, and everywhere. And you go, bosh, bosh, bosh. But you don't need to get a couple of prats pulling out balls here, balls there, and
go back to what we used to have.
Just put a machine in there.
Black velvet bag where you couldn't see. They used to mix it up. They used to grab the ball bag and squidge it.
Are you talking about a really bad porn film again?
I'm talking about my Friday night.
I wasn't there. Before anybody.
You would have won grabbing the ball bag.
I thought we agreed we were going to keep quiet about that.
Where were we?
And to be fair, I had drunk quite a lot.
You don't know how to drink.
Right. Shall we do the...
carry on?
Yeah. Do you reckon we should do player ratings?
Yeah, we can do. Why not?
Let's do it. And we would love a little bit of audience participation in these proceedings. So, Duke, we will start between the sticks and we will talk about Alphonse Areola.
10.
Okay, that's a bit
No.
over the top.
No, well, I was just taking the piss, to be honest with you.
They only had one shot on target.
Okay, 7. I mean, it didn't do anything. It's a clean sheet. I think he came and collected crosses, maybe. I don't know what he did. I'm going to go 7. I'll be honest with you, mate. I think we could have played without a goalkeeper last night, and it wouldn't matter. We could have played rush goalie with Aaron Cresswell playing left back and goalkeeper, and still not lost.
I reckon we could have put. Oh, I reckon we could have put my my French bulldog Bubbles in goal, and she died before Christmas. It wouldn't have made much odds. It wouldn't have done. It wouldn't have done. I mean, you know, he didn't have much to do. He had one shot. He had one shot on target to deal with.
Let's be that's what I'm going 7. Like, I can't grade him any more than a 7 when he did nothing, but it weren't through any fault of his own. And
true.
He did come for the ball really well, crosses, balls into the box. He did really well when he was coming out to claim. So I can't take nothing away from him there.
Fair. Okay. Well, Daniela has given Areola an 8. James has given him a 7. Steve has given him a 7. Miss Hammerette says 7. Didn't do a great deal. Trodge says 7. Jones says 7. Trodge makes a point though. His kicking was a bit crap. Did you think
ropey, yeah?
Yeah, you saw that as well. Came for the ball in the air well. Almost fumbled it when close to Kera. And Ed says he was a 7 and Hammer 89 makes the comment that he was miles better than Fabianski, gives him a 7, and Dean's Life also gives him a 7. So we'll move on now. Talk to me. We played a back 3 centre backs formation. At the left of that particular formation. Oh, sorry, and Eastside gives him a 7. Should have just stayed at home. Could have done. He could have done. It wouldn't have made much odds. Left side of the 3 centre backs, Nayef Agurd. Talk to me.
I don't think he, again, wasn't much to do in the grand scheme of things, Rob. I think he kind of was stitched up slightly, if my memory serves, for the balls up of the geezer we're going to talk about in a minute. An 8 again. It was one of them ones, wasn't it? He was assured, he was solid. I personally feel a hell of a lot more confident with that guy in the side. To be fair,
yeah,
I'll give him an 8.
8.
He looks top drawer. It's going to be a shame in about 5 months when he ends up going to Manchester United for about 52 million.
Don't start. Oh, you're such a misery guts. Have to bring the conversation down, don't you?
Yes.
Anyway, right. Hammer 89's giving him a 9. High praise indeed. Eastside's given Nathan an 8. Daniela a 7. James a 7. Trodge 8 and says he looks classy. Miss Hammerette says wasn't kept too busy, but gives him a 7 anyway. Agurd is an exciting prospect, so classy. 8. Dean's Life says Agurd is an 8. Trodge says Agurd could have done better for a couple of shots they got off, but he is stylish on the ball. Says he's another level, and Hammerhead has piled in and given him an 8. So I think it's fairly safe to say he had a very good game. Yes, the opposition wasn't Premier League standard, but you can only beat what's put in front of you, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, Edge just jumped in as well, and he's given him a solid 8. Right. Okay. Next one we're going to talk about, the central of the 3 centre backs, was Mr. Angelo Ogbonna. What did you think of the vintage Italian? Did he roll back the years?
No.
Fair enough.
There was a couple of slips. I don't know if you put that down to the surface or whatever. He struggles when he's caught on the turn.
Kent's come in. He's sorry, just to backtrack. He's given Nathan a faultless 10.
No, that's fine. I'll give that.
And he was there.
No, just going by what Hammer 89 says, he's struggling to run now, Rob. I think that the knees and the legs are starting to belay what he's trying to do, shall we say. I'll give him a high 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like you're
high,
pondering.
high 7, low 8.
Yeah.
I'll go low 8. Actually, I will give him a low 8. Just to touch on this, it says you're becoming like Moyes, Rob.
Why?
Did you? Because you're calling him Nathan.
Well,
Did
I'm
you
just doing it
see?
because I'm taking the piss. That's
Did
all it
you
is. I
see what
know his
Moyes
name's
come out
Naya
and
for
said?
Gerd.
Did you see what Moyes come out and said though about it?
No.
That Gerd is actually taking the piss out of him,
Well, so he
but
should.
also getting the ump with him a little bit because he can't pronounce his name. He calls him Nath, or he calls him Nathan, and he's actually turned round to a Gerd, and he actually said this. It was on. I read it on Twitter this morning. Moyes has actually come out and said to him, "You've got to give me some leeway. It's not an easy name to pronounce with my accent." And then turned around and went, "We'll just have to come up with an easier name for you."
But Nayef is 5 letters. Nathan is 6.
Well, he calls him Nath, which he ain't got to change much there. He's just got to go Nath. He's just got to put Y in there.
It's not difficult, is it?
It's not, no. Not even with a
And
Scottish
this is a
accent.
guy that he was chasing for the best part of a year. You'd like to think he knew his fucking name. It's ridiculous, isn't it? I think it's rude. I've got to be honest with you. I think it's rude. I think it's ignorant.
It is.
That's just me. You know, his name's Nayef Agurd. And how many times in interviews, Nathan Agard? And I'm sitting there going, oh, you absolute fuckwit. Really?
Tospix, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Hammer 89 says 7 for Ogbonna, but he says he can't run. James says he's a 7.
Yeah.
Daniela says 8. Eastside says 8. Dean's Life says he had nothing to do, but he was well protected and gives him a 7. Trodge says Oggy's position was superb, 7. Joan says 7 as well. Miss Hammerette says solid and has experience to show, 7.5. She's showing her Falls from Iron Gold Club members card there by allowing a decimal place. And the same with Hammerhead. He's also given a 7.5. Ed's giving him high 6. Kent says 8. Teddy Sheringham of centre backs. He's the first 3 yards in his head. He knows where to be. Just having a little look, seeing if anybody else has popped in. No, that is all on Mr. Ogbonna. So then we go to the right of the back three, Duke, and Tilo Kehrer, who the last time we saw him, last couple of times we've seen him play at fullback. I mean, I don't ever want to see him at left back again. I'm not too sure he's that clever at right back. Right centre back of a 3. Did he look a little bit better to you?
Yeah, I mean, he ballsed up right at the start, Rob, and I wanted to cry. I missed it, but then saw it in highlights. Bear with me a moment.
Oh. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen, for this little brief interlude. I think that Duke might be dealing with something. Are you still with us, Duke, or have you...
I'm here.
You are.
No, I mean he nosed up at the start, didn't he? I can't say that he's still getting used to our style of play because there's no excuse for that. He's been here long enough now. I'm going to go a 6, and that's being very, very generous on a 6. He's lucky to get that.
I'm going to say it. Is his deterioration since he's come in? And let's be honest, he's already had a rick in him, but I think a lot of people looked at him as quite a stylish, classy centre back. Kehrer's gone backwards since he's walked through the door. What's going on? Is that on David Moyes?
Oh yeah, quite clearly. it is very much to do with the way Moyes sets up, the way Moyes plays, the way Moyes wants to defend as deeply as he does, Rob, and it irritates the shit out of me because it does leave us very, very susceptible to having players like him be put under pressure. Because of players like him being put under pressure, because he has that wicket or 30 in him, it can come back and bite us in the arse because of the way we set up. He needs to be... I don't know. I think he needs a higher press from his teammates, but I don't know, mate. To be honest with you, I think it's you can't keep defending him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, Hammer89's given him a 4. Says he looked nervous. Eastside gives him a 0. Says absolutely shocking. Troj has given him a 4. Says he's rash and a liability, but goes on to say he is fast. James has given him a 7. Ed gives him a 5. Kent gives him a 5 and says he's being generous. He's awful. Dean's Life still looks nervous, but he's improved after 15 minutes. A 6. Joan has given him a 6 also. And Hammerhead has also given him a 6 as well. So, yeah, not really a great sort of like resounding success, I think it's fair to say, on the night. Okay, so let's have a little look here. So who've we got next? We'll go with Emerson. Let's have a look at the left wing back. What did you think?
I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay.
And that's, again, I think being generous. He doesn't read the game like I'd like him to be honest with you. I think he... As I said earlier, he tried to occupy the same space as Fornells. There was no kind of like tactical awareness, if you know what I mean. He didn't. He kept going forward, and because Fornells was there, he kind of blocked him in, and they didn't do much out on the left, which was quite frustrating, really. But I'm going to give him a 7. He's improving. But what was the other guy? What was the fella's name? Mendes Lang or something? Was that his name?
What, the guy on the
right wing for Derby?
Yes, Mendes Lang. Yeah,
absolutely embarrassing at one point down that left, right on the touchline. It was right on the byline, and he just absolutely embarrassed.
That was in the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cut back across, and we I won't say we were lucky because we defended it well, but yeah, he is getting better, but he needs to hurry up about it. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Okay. Let's have a little wee look here and see what the panel are saying. We've got James giving him a 7. Eastside also gives him a 7. Dean's Life also gives him a 7. Says he's getting better each game. Miss Hammerette's a 7. Jones a 7. Troj is also a 7. He says he's improving all the time. Only got skinned once, which is, I think, what you were referring to there, Duke. Yeah. Ed has also given him a 7. There's a theme emerging here. Kent says proved last night, but he is a left wing back and not a left back. 7 for me, and Hammerhead has given him a 7 as well. So basically, everyone's piled in with a 7 there, Duke.
Yeah.
So let's have a little look, and we'll go over and we'll run the rule over the right wing back on the night, Mr. Vladimir Kufal.
He was all right. Again, struggling to remember a clanger. Struggling to remember an absolute nose up on his part. Unlike, obviously, we've already spoken about the one with Kara. Yeah, struggling to remember. No, I don't think he had. I think he's. I tell you what, I did notice his switch of play. I'm waiting for you to realise, Rob.
What?
He didn't make any clangers last night.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting. You keep on. I'll wait for you to have a little read of the chat.
Have a little read of the chat. Oh, you idiot. I've pressed the wrong. It wasn't Kufel, was it?
No.
I've had a long day. I've pressed the wrong button. It was meant to press that one. Can we edit this bit out, please? We'll edit this bit out. See, this is what
I tried to keep it going. I thought you'd already read the chat, and I tried to keep it going.
Oh, honestly, I've had a really long day today. I can't even begin to tell you. I don't know what's going on.
I tried so hard to keep going, and I honestly thought you read the chat, so that's why I was like, when I got to know, I can't remember any clangers in it because you hadn't clocked it. I was like, shit, I've had a
Tilo Kera moment, haven't I?
You had a massive Tilo.
Oh God!
No, I'll be honest with you, mate. Johnson for me gets a 5. There was someone says in there. Eastside says he made one pass, Rob, that was a 6-yard pass, and he passed it 3 yards short and out of play. I don't go Billy Mitchell. Yeah, I'm actually 4. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go 4.
Oh dear!
You're right.
Dear! I'm just looking. I've made myself like an absolute helmet, haven't I?
That's right. I tried well. I did try well. Don't worry about it.
Oh God! Yeah. Oh, like I say, just been one of those days today, and that pretty much caps it off. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. And to be fair, James didn't notice at first because look, he put the score in for Vladimir Kufel. Oh dear! Kent spotted it though, didn't he? Look at that. He wasn't fucking fooled. There you go. I was just testing you, ladies and gentlemen. I was just testing you. Anyway,
I like it.
Like I say, I'll edit this bit out, and anyone that watches it latterly, they'll never know. They'll never know. Anyway, so Eastside gives him a 0. That's 2 zeros in an 11 that started that won 2-0. Anyway, absolutely shocking. Can't pass. One pass he made went out for a throw. Ouch. Well, it could be worse, mate. He could be pressing the buttons on full Shemai, and he could get that completely arse about face.
I'll tell you what, he's beginning to wish that Sufal did play.
Yeah. James has said he's a 7. Jones says penalty should have been given against him. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there was, wasn't it? He did. I can't remember what it was, but there was a bit where I've just seen it. If VAR had been in play, mate, yeah, they would have got a pen.
Sorry, Eastside. I do apologise. Honestly,
I'll
say just not seriously. Just caps off my day. Trosh says he's a 5. Ed says he's Johnson's a 6, whilst laughing out loud. Dean's Life, Jono didn't have a great game apart from one good cross, gives him a 5. Hammer 89 says he was a 6. Stuart Jenkins comes in with a 2. Hush. Johnson has been moist, says Hammer 89. Well, that was kind of what Tommy was saying about Johnson on the big debate last week. And I've got to reveal who the panel is a little bit later on, but stay tuned. Anyway, he says, I'll give Kufel a 10. He done a good job on the bench cheering the side on. Fair, Eastside, fair point. Johnson needs to move to centre half to save his career, and he gives him a 4. That is from Hammerhead. Appreciate it, Ed. Appreciate it. Right, okay. Now let's hope I can press the right button, because I'm pretty sure this fella played in the middle of the park. Thomas Soucek, Duke.
Honestly,
I'll
give him a 10.
Really?
It's my man of the match.
Okay.
Back to his old self. Again, let's use relevance. Let's put it into context. It's not a 10 against Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Mhm.
It's a 10 against Derby. It'd probably only be a 8 against these guys with the same sort of performance.
Yeah.
But he gets a 10 from me. It's the it was the vision for the header, Rob, that really won me. He wins the header knowing that Bowen was going to be there. It was brilliant. It was good to see the old Souček back.
Okay. So you're even giving him a 10 despite the fact it was Derby County?
Yeah, it's a
Really?
10 with context. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, James has given an 8 and says it was his man of the match.
You do realise you got the Rice picture up there, though, right?
Am I allowed to call you a rude word at this point?
It's after 9 o'clock.
Cunt. Love you, really. Yeah, Trodge gives him man. Here's the thing. We can call him man of the match because they insist, these broadcasters, calling them player of the match now.
Yeah.
He's a man. Come on. We know he's a man. Let's call it what it is.
Roberts.
Man of the match. Done.
Roberts.
Yes.
Sacked in my last job for making comments I shouldn't have done on situations like this. Let's not encourage me.
No, but he is a man. It's
It's right.
men's football. He is a man by definition. Therefore, we can call it man of the match. I've got no problem with if it's woman of the match. I've got no problem calling it woman of the match. I'm fair and even-handed. But he's a man, so I will call it man of the match. If you want to call it player of the match, you can do so. I'm not going to participate in that one. Anyway, Eastside View says fine. Broke up play well. Passing was excellent. Yeah, he was 82%, I saw, which for Thomas Souček's very good. Good on the ball, gives him a 9. Miss Hammerette says Rice didn't play, and saw Souček coming back to how he was, gave him a 9. Dean's Life says Souček was back last night, 9 and my man of the match. Ed says he was an 8, said he had a good game. Hammerhead says he's an 8. And Jones says he's a 9. And Hammerhead says he is a 7. Hammerhead? No, sorry. Hammer 89. See, I told you I'm having a really bad day today. Here we go. I've got some support. He is a man, I agree. I don't like actresses being called actors either. There you go, Joan. And Miss Hammerette says that I'm spot on. So there you go. I'm getting a little bit of support. Listen, I'm not going to agree. Get everyone agreeing. That's fine. It's my opinion. And if I want to call it a man of the match award, I'll call it a man of the match award. I'm not going to participate in all this player of the match bollocks because I think it is precisely that, bollocks. Anyway, shall we move on? Who was his partner? Oh, that's right. This fella. Flynn Downs.
I'm going to give him an 8.
Are you now?
Yeah, I thought we played really well, mate. Again, he's so underrated, Rob, as a player. Again, I know it's only against Derby. Again, I keep saying only against Derby, and I don't mean that in a derogatory kind of way. But he is a mate. I'm going to regret this because I reckon I'm going to get someone coming at me in the comments.
Say what you want.
He reminds me of Carrick.
Okay.
His confidence, his ability on the ball, Rob. His ability to break up. There was one where they kind of broke, and the guy had 5 players around him, and he slid in, won the ball, and it was a kind of pass to Antonio, and we broke in the second half. His vision is outstanding. Honestly, I do compare him to Michael Carrick. He's got that unflappableness about him. And listen, you know me, Rob. You know my feelings on Carrick. I personally think Carrick is the most underrated midfielder in the Premier League era. I actually, in my opinion, and again, I get others and I understand why others have these opinions. I actually think Carrick was better than the Man U midfield of Butt and Skulls. That's my opinion. I get why others don't think so. But Downs reminds me of Carrick. He's got all of those kind of his attributes, and I would love to see him start so many more games, even in a 4-3-3, and let Souček and Rice go because he can hold.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, you can see some of the comments that I've put there about some comments about Flynn Downs. Let's have a look at the scores. So Hammerhead gives him a 7. James gives him an 8. Miss Hammerette says 8. He deserves a start now. Jeez. Eastside Downs 8 for me. Solid shame. Moyes won't play him again. Yeah, and that's the thing. Eastside. Probably what we'll find against Newcastle United is that Flynn Downs will be on the bench. Anyway, moving on. Dean's Life quietly went about his business. Unflappable 8. Hammer 89 gives him an 8.5. Oh, I see. Another one flashing there. Their Forged Gold Club membership. I see. Right. Trodge says 7, and he says he was impressive. Jones says loves Flynn Downs. Would play him every game. Gives him an 8. Ed gives him a 7. So they're all pretty much there or thereabouts. So everybody's sort of saying that he's a quality player, a quality operator, and he probably won't play against Newcastle. Anyway, let's see what happens, shall we? But I think you're probably right. The official man of the match was this man, Pablo Fornals. What say you?
He's going to get an 8 from me, Rob. Which again is a good score, but again, let's put it into context. We go back to the same thing I've said about those that have got high enough scores in this so far in the likes of Souček. It was Derby. He was very surprised he got man of the match. I mean, he did put on Insta, I think it was, that is it April Fool's Day? Or something like that. I loved it. For me, he gets an 8. I mean, he worked tirelessly. I think, again, with conversations with the 6 or 7 West Ham fans that have been in here last night, the creativity's been smashed out of him. We bought him on the back of an under 20 or before the under 21 championship, and he showed what he could do there, the Euros. And we've kind of battered it out of him over the last, 4 years?
No, we haven't.
Well, no, we haven't as fans. You know what I mean? The club, Moyes, whatever.
No, yeah, I was going to say, not the club.
He's a fantastic individual. He is the cliche, Rob, of the player that covers every blade of grass. He epitomizes the badge that he wears on his chest. He does. He plays for that. Yeah. You can see when I watched the Dawson header in France last season, and he's the one that took the corner, and he's there with that big fucking toothy grin on his face, mouthful of teeth like Shergar, fist pumping, and then at the end of the game he's like, West Ham are massive everywhere we go. That's the best accent I've got for him. But he knows,
Take care, Kate.
Take it easy, babe.
Thank you.
Me, he gets what he understands what it means. He gets it. He gets what it means to play for this club. He gets what the club means to the fans. And I've got all the time in the world for that. And hopefully we continue to see him stay and play and everything else.
Fair. Right, let's have a look at the guys in the live chat and the girls, of course. James gives him an 8. Troj, however, gives him a 7, says he was hot and cold. Eastside gives him a 7. Dean's Life says poor on the left, but looked class in the centre and gives him a 7. Miss Hammerette says he's an 8. He showed true grit. Hammer 89 has also given him an 8. Jones says he seems to bring us luck, gives him an 8 and says he's hardworking. That is absolutely true. Ed gives him a 7. Yeah. Hammer 89 makes the point. He was a number 10 when Pellegrini signed him. Yeah, he was, absolutely.
It was.
Not under Moyes. Anyway, Hammerhead says 8. He was once Spain's hope for a new Iniesta. Let's get him back, please. Yeah. Did anyone ever find Shergar? I don't think.
Yes. No, he
Did
was. Yeah, he was found
they make burgers out of him or
a
something?
bottle of copy decks.
What?
He was found in a bottle of copy decks, glue.
He was found in a bottle of copy decks. Right, you're
Yeah,
going
they
to have
turned
to
him
help
into
me out
glue.
here.
Copy decks is a glue, Robert.
I know what it is.
That's where dead horses go, to the glue factory.
Oh, you're having a wind up.
Always. I never stop.
Frick.
Thanks.
Right. Okay. I'm like, how the fuck did they know he was in a bottle of bloody glue, for Christ's sakes? What's that all about? Anyway.
You're hard work.
Right.
You know that, didn't you?
I'm hard work.
Always.
I'm hard work. Right. Okay. Talk to me about this fella. Got the opener after 10 minutes. And he's in a rich vein of form at the moment. And will it carry on to St. James's Park? We can but hope. Jared Bowen.
Good first goal. Did
Don't encourage him, Joan. Don't encourage him.
Love you, Joan.
You are just putting fuel on the fire.
Love it. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give him a 9. I actually think he scored 1 assist, 1. The cross for the second one, yes, we get lucky. The number 3 slides in. I think the centre back needs to take a little bit of grief, if you want, for our second goal, because of the way that when the ball goes in the box and it deflects off of the left back, the centre back's about
Robert.
4 yards away from Mikel Antonio. And before Antonio actually headers the ball, he just throws his arms up in the air like he knows what's about to happen. Well, my point there, my man, is you should have been marking your man and not being dragged towards the near post and the ball. So, for me, that was the centre back's fault that should have been marking Antonio. Kind of just threw his arms up in the air and piss off, we are. Fuck's sake. That's not.
It's not. To be fair, that's not Hammer 89's fault.
No, I know. That's what I was about to say. I'm not blaming Hammer 89 for that one. I'm.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Just getting really pissed off now.
Yeah.
Moyes can go.
With the Academy of Football for teams in the Championship, League 1 and League 2.
I hope Moyes on the way
Belgium.
home gets attacked by Randy horses.
That'd be a sight to see. Maybe
really
maybe Shergar would be resurrected. Could you imagine that?
I just, mate, I don't even
He'd
get
be
it.
funny at Newcastle, that's for sure.
It's just, hang on, Longello's playing tonight, though, is he?
I don't know. Is he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I'll play for the under-21s.
That must have already been agreed some time ago, and that's only just been announced then, surely. That's ridiculous.
Oh, he is. They're playing Blackburn. Birmingham are playing Blackburn. Superb save. Longello centres from the left for Hogan, who flicks the ball goalwards, and Pears makes a sensational save at his near post to keep it out. So, unless I'm misunderstanding things, Longello is playing, but has signed at half time? Is he?
Must have done. He started the game as a West Ham player on loan at Birmingham, and he's going to finish it a Birmingham player.
It's just embarrassing.
Unbelievable.
I just can't.
Right. Okay. Let's get into the scores. Hammer 89's giving him a 9, and goes on to say that he ran his socks off. James has given him an 8. Eastside's given Bowen a 9. Trodge, however, gives him a 7. Says he should have passed, and we're 2-0 at half time. Dean's Life says, looks like he's enjoying playing football again, and gives him an 8. Joan gives him a 9. Trudge also makes the observation that Bowen was also 1v1 with the keeper and shot right at him. Fair point. Ed has given him an 8. There you go. Right. Anyone else that's piled in with no? Everybody else has just sort of having a little chit chat there. Right. So the last player that started yesterday, Michael Antonio. What did you make of his performance? He got the second on 50 minutes, which effectively killed the tie. What say you?
He worked hard. He ran a lot, and he got his goal. I mean, what more can you say, really? He looked like he was enjoying his football last night. I mean, it must be what it's like to be playing for a small club again, Rob. I mean, listen, it's not. It's Antonio, mate. He does what he says on the tin. He'll run a lot when he needs to. I'm actually going to give him a 7.5, an 8.
8. Decent score. Let's have a little look. You guys in the live chat. Trudge has given him a 7. Says he ran them ragged. Hammer 89, however, not so fulsome in his praise. Says he was a 6. James has given him an 8. Dean's Life has said put in a solid performance and also gives him an 8. Edge jumped in with a 7. And Joan has said, good to see him get his goal. He's playing for a move. Well, he better get his skates on if he wants to get a move. And gives him an 8. Yeah, ain't got long. Do you think we're going to bring anybody in?
No, you've got an hour and a half.
Even alone? Not even alone?
No.
Not even on
apart from this young lad from Maguire from Cliftonville Rovers to be able to sell on in 3 years' time for 400 grand or something stupid.
He likes getting in some of my cousins, doesn't he?
He does, doesn't he?
It's ridiculous. And then we don't play them. Then they end up going to play for, sort of Scunthorpe or something like that. Oh, look at this. No major deals for West Ham. What about minor ones? Are we going to make a minor one?
If I may, it's a fucking joke.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can mark him then.
On last night's game, I'll give him a 10, mate. He got the job done. For last night's game, it's a 10. He got the tactics right. We won the game. What do you need? If we'd lost, it's a different story. But you're ranking him on tactical setup and formation and personnel. Well, it was a 10. We won. There's no other way around it. Clean sheet. Job done.
Okay, this could be quite interesting. How you guys might see this. First one out of the gate, and I suspect that there might be more to follow. James has given David Moyes an 8. Hammer 89's come in and said players don't want to play for Moyes, and obviously the players there are warning them off. Ouch.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far unless he's talking about the youth team, maybe. But then we're not even looking like we're trying to get players.
Evening, Budge.
I woke up this morning to the possibility of that we might get Gallagher on loan.
He's going to Everton, apparently.
Other than waking up to Hammer's West Ham Network's Anton telling me that we were going to get Conor Gallagher. That's all I've heard of it. There's been no other mention of Conor Gallagher on any of my timelines, or even on social media, or even on Sky. Hammer 89 says that Sky have said Gallagher's going nowhere. I mean, I know it was stated that he didn't want to join Everton because he wanted to play for a team in Europe. Then it's. You would have thought we would have been. You would have thought we would have been the team. He didn't want to go Everton because he wanted to play for a team in Europe. You thought we would have been that team. I think that's where everyone's kind of got the latch onto that he wants to. Well, we're in Europe, and he, if he's going to go out on loan, he might as well come to us. And I think that's what people have read into.
Fair. Right, okay. Let's have a little wind back. There's been some more scores coming in for David Moyes. So Hammer 89. Yep, okay, right. So that's where we go. Trodge gives him an 8. Dean's Life comes in, says Moyes' selection worked, but substitutes were poor. 7. Did you want to see Mubama a little bit earlier?
Obviously a little bit earlier, but
yeah. Hammer 89 makes that comment, says should have made more subs and brought a Mubama sooner. Gives him a 6. Eastside is that you saying you're going to keep quiet on your score? Mate, don't, please. Say what you want. Be free. Joan gives him an 8. Says Ben Rama should have been on at half time though. Ed gives him a 5. Charlie, who was there last night, gave him a 7. Says it's standard. Job done. So, yeah, just having a little look here. Oh, Paul jumped in. It was all set for a cup upset and done the job. Gives him an 8. Don't joke about this East Side. You never know. It could happen. Even get sent Lingard a Valentine's card. Jesus Christ. James, there you are. You didn't need to do that, old chap, but appreciate it muchly. Really do.
If I may jump in on this one, Rob.
Please do.
James, I'm not going to air laundry in public, mate. If you want to let people know, please do. I'm really, really pleased to hear the news that you guys got today. I know I've commented on Twitter, and I know you've obviously reacted to it. I just want to say I'm really pleased you got the good news, mate. I know from personal experience that couldn't have been easy. Couldn't have been an easy time for you guys to go through. I know we haven't always seen eye to eye, big man, but if you do need, or if you ever need someone to talk to, I know you said you kind of just put it away for a bit, but if you do ever need anyone to talk to, please reach out, give me a shout, because I know what you've gone through, somewhere else in the family, but please reach out. It's great news that you've got the news that you've got. That's great, and like I say, mate, you don't have to go through if anything like that again. Just reach out, mate. Give me a shout. I'm always willing to be an ear, shoulder to cry on and an ear to bend. And thank you for the donation there, my man. And just quickly, Bruno's been sent off for Newcastle. It's been coming. He's been leaving his foot in everywhere. He's been losing his temper a little bit. And he's just been sent off for quite a nasty challenge, actually. Just looking at it, he stamps probably about 4 inches above the geezer's ankle on the side of his foot. It's nasty. It's a red card.
2 things. First thing, seconded for what you just said to James.
Yeah.
Seconded from me. The second part, can you say Bruno's surname?
Yeah, Guimarães.
Oh, that's your Portuguese is a bit rusty.
It's a little bit, but I think I did quite well.
I'll leave you alone. But right. Okay, let's get rid of that. So that's us done. I suppose, because I did say I was going to reveal it at about 9 o'clock, and it's 45 minutes past that. I suppose I better do the big reveal for tomorrow. We've got the big debate, ladies and gentlemen. Got a fresh panel. We go at 9 o'clock tomorrow. It'll be on for an hour, there or thereabouts. We're going to have 4 new faces on from last week as follows. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So if I might implore you to go to our YouTube page. On there, you'll find on the tab that says community, you will find, I put it there, there it is, 4 days ago. And I asked the question, what topics would you like to put to our panel of guests on Wednesday, the 1st of the 2nd, which is obviously tomorrow for the big debate. I do go on to say that I can't promise that I will get the opportunity to ask, which ones and all the rest of it. It will just be completely at random. But if any of you guys watching have a topic that you want those 4 individuals to get their teeth into, then this is your opportunity to get it over to us. So get yourself onto the YouTube channel, click the tab that says community. You've got the little topic there. You can put your answer in there, whatever question that we actually have. One at the moment, one participant, Mickey Smith, has made a contribution for which we thank him. I'm not going to say the question here. If you go onto that particular tab on the YouTube channel, you'll see his question there, bold as brass. So yeah, get yourself your questions in there, please. Contribute, and we thank you very much indeed for that. Any final thoughts, Duke?
No, mate, just you know what? Again, just watching this Newcastle game and
When do you want to come on? Hang on, Hammer 89's asking a question. When you having me on? You can come on when you want, mate. If you get your contact details over to me, you can come on anytime you like.
Yeah, just going back to this whole Newcastle thing. The young lad that was fouled there by Bruno was Edozie, the guy that they got from. There you go. There's the comments there. He's the guy they got from Man City. He was part of my brother's academy, Edozie. Very, very good player. But just going back to what I was saying about Newcastle, it makes me jealous. I'm not going to lie, because this is a club much like our own. You know what I mean? Much like our own. They're a big club, a working class club. Their fans are very much like ours, very passionate. And this is what happens. They've not been stupid. They've not gone out and spent the earth. They've done very clever. They've bought what they needed to buy when they needed to buy it. I am jealous. I'm looking at this. No, but what I mean each side is the fact that they've had someone come in and buy them. They've had someone come in and replace their management structure, their coaching structure.
Well, that's exactly what
gone out and they've bought cleverly. That's what I'm getting at. This is that's what I mean by being jealous of it. The whole setup, the whole shebang. Can only hope that, as I've said before, ISIS comes in and puts in a bid.
Oh God! Right, I suppose I ought to, because all this time we have had the poll running for the man of the match. I'm going to close it now, ladies and gentlemen. The winner as voted for. Yeah, well, the winner as voted for by you, the Falls from Iron viewer, and we thank you for participating. We thank you for watching us. Naif Agurd, 41%. That's how you pronounce his name, Naif Agurd. There you go. Not Nathan Agar.
It's not bad.
He got 41%. Thomas Soucek was on 25%. The official man of the match, as per ITV, was Pablo Fornals, and he got 19%. And the scorer of the opening goal, Mr. Jared Bowen, got 13% of the Falls from Iron vote, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
Anyway. I need to check something. Hang on before we go.
Was it you trying to find out whether he's banned for the Newcastle or the game on Saturday? There does seem to be a little bit of a. I mean, Charlie says straight reds are applied across all domestic comps. If it was a straight red, I think, I got a funny feeling he's right there. Actually,
it was a straight red.
Go on.
A player who receives a straight red is banned for the next 3 domestic fixtures: EPL, Carabao Cup, and FA Cup, regardless of competition. So there you go. Yes, he is banned. Bruno is banned for Saturday's game unless they.
Can they appeal a straight red?
It was a straight red, yes. So unless that is, I guess, you can appeal a straight red. You can't appeal 2 yellows, can you?
Yeah, because didn't we have Bowen'S got sent off a couple of seasons against Everton, and that was a straight red from memory, wasn't it? And that got overturned.
You
appeal a straight
red, not 2 yellows.
Say again.
You can appeal a straight red, but not 2 yellow cards. Can't that's right, isn't it? So so unless they appeal tomorrow morning, and obviously that then goes to an appeal, and they kind of delay it until next week, then there is a chance he could face us, as long as there is a chance he doesn't play against us. I'll put it out.
It's running along the bottom, mate. If you want to send, and this is an open invite to anybody. If anybody's out there in the live chat that would like to participate in any of the shows in a more visual format and not just on live chat, you've got the Twitter handle there. You can DM us. So send us a message if you want to come onto one of the big debate shows that we've got upcoming. Our door is open. Our door is open. So tickers running along the bottom, mate. Probably your best bet, I would suggest, would be to go onto our Twitter handle @ForgedTalk and just send us a DM. Send us your contact details, and we'll get back to you and get you on in due course. Right. Yeah, they can appeal a straight red. That's right. So yeah, we'll see. Bruno in or out isn't going to change the result. And Budgie and the East Side says we'll probably still lose. So no, please don't. Please don't. Please don't, Epic. You might be right, but please don't.
Can we at least wait another couple of months before we talk about it?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Right. Okay. I'm going to end it there, guys. Been really good to have you along.
If I may,
please,
Budgie. Hope everything went okay today, my man. I'll drop you a message shortly in the chat. I hope everything went okay. Shout out to you, buddy.
I've also on that. I sent a little message to Budgie on his Facebook page because I'm aware of what was going on today.
Anyway,
anyway, that's where we'll leave it. So, guys, as it says there, please don't forget to like, comment on, and share this stream to your social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for alerts on new content. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support. This has been our match review of the FA Cup 4th round match at Pride Park, where we beat Derby County by a score of 2-0.
May I? Because East Side has a question.
Okay.
East Side, it's a running joke, my man.
Yeah, don't take it seriously.
We were talking not so long ago about Saudi Arabia taking over, obviously Newcastle, and the despicable human rights. The way they are there. We were talking then about obviously the Qataris, and I said, well, if it's good enough for Saudi Arabia and their human rights to take over Newcastle, maybe ISIS could take over West Ham. It was tongue in cheek. It was a piss take. Nothing was meant by it. So I just wanted to explain that.
Yep, no worries. So right. We've got to knock it on the head there, old chum. I'm going to play the Iron Supporting Food Bank outro. And I wish you a safe couple of days, guys. Come on, you Irons. Let's hope for a rabbit out of the hat in the next, 65 minutes? Maybe we're going to make a signing. It's going to be fucking Andre Ayew, isn't it?
Well, anyway, I'm going to send you a picture. I need some help.
Not another. Oh, God.
It was the reunion of the celebrating 30 years since we won the first Premier League title.
Oh, and
it's
Man United
Lee Sharp.
One. Yeah,
so it's Lee Sharp, and in the picture I recognise Brian Robson, Terry Phelan, Gary Pallister, Lee Sharp.
You're looking at the dude with the long beard on the front left, aren't you?
Who the fucking hell?
That's Brian McClare. Seriously, it's Brian McClare.
Oh, it is as well. He looks like Father Christmas.
Yeah, it's Brian McClare, mate.
And is that the black fella at the end, the bald fella, was the one that scored a goal against Germany in the 1990 World Cup semi-final?
Paul Parker. Yeah,
That's
Ben
the
Johnson's uncle.
Yeah.
Right.
Madness.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, right. We're going on Friday, aren't we?
Yeah, Friday, 6:15 if we can.
6:15.
I've got to do DJing. Oh no, yeah, I've got to do DJing, but we've got football. We've got Chelsea, Fulham.
Okay.
But I've got a DJ Friday night, so yeah, if we can go about 6:15, gives me an hour and 20 minutes, not to worry about the rest of it. Yeah. And tomorrow, this beautiful face will be gracing this screen once again.
Yeah.
To cause arguments among the peasants. That's not a beautiful face. I was talking about this beautiful face. Oh, I'm going to be doing that when we leave. It's all right.
See you tomorrow, guys. Forged from Iron is proud to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham United fans and friends inspired by the work of other football fan food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations from Newham Food Bank in Beckton, who supply 7 distribution centres in the borough, 7 days a week, and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. They are supported in their efforts by West Ham United Football Club, the WHU Foundation, LS185, London Legacy Development Corporation, Newham Council, the Met Police, Spire London East Hospital, Expedient Security, and a large number of West Ham and football fans. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thank you for your support. Come on, you Irons.